G'day guys, welcome back. Heading up the bay today, road trip with Reecy boy, hitting out one of our local spots. Going to get in, see if we can get some crays. Take them home for a big feed. Happy days. Hey guys, for those who don't know me, I'm Drew from Man Alive and I created my YouTube channel 3 or 4 months ago now, and I'm happy to say I've reached my 10th episode. Now what you're about to watch is a couple of the most incredible days I've spent in the water recently, where the weather turned it on, and of course when this happens you drop everything and go diving. It was calm, flat, crystal clear with loads of crays. I hope you like it and thanks for your support.
Oh man, I hope it's that clear out there. This is looking awesome.
So this edit's going to be a little bit different than the rest. It is a couple of my favourite dive spots, so I won't be showing any landmarks above the water level. And any dialogue we did have on the day will be edited in while we're diving. So let's get into it. My first cray for the day.
He's a good cray. He can't really, I can go back a little way, but there's a big urchin right behind him. You're alright? Are you alright?
Yeah, right.
You're alright? There's another huge one sitting right where I got the other one.
Yeah, this is a crack, eh?
So let's get down there and get him. There he is, tucked in nice and tight, but he shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Hey Reecy! Woo! He's a good one. That's a good cray.
Nice.
Alright, we need 3 more. Let's go for it.
Here you go, brother.
Sweet.
Remember that.
Get down there, have a look in that crack.
And with that, we got our first nice cray in the bag for the day.
But mate, there's 3 good crays in here, so we'll get our 2 each. We just got to get them. I've been stuffing around for 20 minutes with them.
Look at that, that's heartbreaking. He's a big cray, he's just out of reach. I'm gonna have to come up with a better plan.
I think our best bet, try and move that urchin on the front. Yeah, we might be able to do it that way. Over in this crack, have a look. You can't miss them. We'll get them, we're just gonna persist.
Do you want me to have a go?
Go for it, man. They're not going anywhere. We'll just go, we'll go one up, one down, one up, one down till we get them. Alright, let's see if we can get these out.
It's a real cranky 4A in there too, did you see?
Oh, I didn't see him.
He's in there, he just come out and goes, ah!
So I've decided to come in from the side angle instead of from above. I reckon I'll have a better chance of grabbing one from here.
Thanks, man.
Saw your line tangling around you, and I was coming down, having a knife down, and I was coming down going, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
No time to stop. Our bag limit's 2 crays each, and that's what we're gonna get.
He's right there, man. Go get him.
Yeah.
He ain't going anywhere.
Now this was funny. With all the commotion, he finally moved to the edge, and while we're breathing up on the surface, he made a dart for the kelp. But old Reecy boy, it was straight onto him.
What the fuck?
Mate, that was sweet. Yeah! That was that. That was a classic.
Oh, the runaway Cray!
Lucky. Mate. Mate, that was cool.
On the sprint.
Alrighty. Let's get out of here.
You're a legend, mate.
That's all good, man.
So these dives were a few weeks ago now when the weather just turned it on for 8 or 9 days, so we took the opportunity to get out again. It was a different spot in a new cave and it didn't disappoint. So my first dive was actually just to check to see if there was any in there. They were. I wasn't actually expecting to get even my hands on them, but it stirred them up. They came out and they were climbing the walls.
You know what? I reckon I could get him.
Yeah.
Mate, I can have my hands on him then.
Did ya?
Yeah.
You're in there. You're in trouble, cross your fins.
Now what's happening here is I'm on the surface breathing up ready to take a dive when all of a sudden I spot him coming out the cave into the open for an easy catch. I take a quick dive and he's not going anywhere.
That's 2 in 1 day! What the hell's going on? How good is that?
And you wouldn't believe it, 2 minutes later the same thing happens again. It was a couple of absolutely epic days in the water.
What the hell's going on?
I've never seen it like that before. That's nuts. What a day. What a day, Reezy boy. Yes. Hey, buddy.
Hey, there's a,
How crazy is that?
there's another one in there.
Get him, man.
Now this last one was a little difficult, but he rounded out our 2 crays each for the day. Now I know you can't see it, but I was doing my best here not to get bitten by this eel in the cave while I was catching this cray.
I see what you mean, man. Those eels will go with me. Yeah. It's yours, bro. Oh, thanks, that.
And with that, it was time to head home.
Hey guys, what a trip. It was well worth the early start. The road trip this morning up the bay to one of our locals. We come out with our bag limit, got a couple of crays each. We can't wait to get these home, cook them up, have a bit of a feast and a few beers. It's going to be great. I'll see you at home. I'm just going to get some lemongrass. Grow my own lemongrass. This stuff's great. A little bit of fresh coriander from the front garden. Spring onion, just trim that off, clean that up. That one that I just cut out of the garden, that'll continue to grow. Okay, so first I'm going to start with my sauce. A little bit of grated garlic. Okay, so the next two I've got is a premium soy and dumpling vinegar. We're going to put a 50-50 mix of that in. Quarter a cup and quarter a cup of that. And we're just going to put in half a spoon of caster sugar just to give it a bit of sweetness. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to add some of my homemade chili oil. Maybe, yeah, good glug of that. Then I'm just going to put just some dried chili in there. Just a sprinkle on of dried chilies. Oh, look at that. That's our dipping sauce. That looks pretty good. We're just going to put that to the side and get onto our dumplings. Okay, I got my 2 beautiful lobsters. I just need to clean them up now. And our 2 beautiful cray tails. Just got to dice them up now. Okay, so this is all my cray. It's all been chopped up. Now I do one of two things with it. I either throw it all back into the garden, which breaks down, makes the best compost for my garden, gives it a load of nutrition, or if depending on what recipe I'm gonna make, I'll turn it into a stock and have the most amazing seafood lobster stock from it. Either way, I don't waste a thing, I use everything. So what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna dice my cray up. Now I'm just going to run the knife through it, get this into a really fine dice. I do want a little bit of texture in there, I don't want it to be super mushy. So yeah, that looks good. That looks good. And I'll stick that into our bowl, clean our bench down. Okay, now to our cray, gonna crack the salt. I'm going to use some white pepper, just because it's not as coarse or as heavy as the black pepper. Just a half a teaspoon of that. Just going to give it a very fine grate of garlic. Also just going to pop a little bit of ginger in, fresh ginger. Here we got our cray with our garlic and ginger. Now I'm going to use coriander stems, a little bit more coarse, but they do add heaps of flavour. Now with this next part, I'm going to use a spring onion, but I'm not so much using the white part. I'm going to use the top. I might use a little bit of the white. It's just nice and mild. I'll also put a nice little green fleck through the dumplings also. You know what? I'm going to put just going to put a tiny bit of the white part in, just to bring out a little bit more flavour. Okay, so I've got a bit of white part. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can smell that's definitely going to work. So the whole thing is really just trying to keep the flavours mild so I don't go overboard on the cray. So a bit of salt, white pepper, ginger, garlic, coriander and some fine shallots. It's going to be good. I just remembered, I've got to do me lemongrass too. We're going to just slice up a bit of lemongrass, dice that. Wow, that is such a nice smell. In goes the lemongrass. Okay, now to help bind it, we're going to use an egg, but we're only going to use the egg white, we're not using the yolk. So the old back and forth. I'll put that in the compost too. And we're just going to give this a mix to help bind it, and it should start to go all sort of gelatinous and sticky once that egg yolk starts to bind. Oh wow, that's smelling pretty good. It looks pretty good too. Look at that. Also I'm going to put some water chestnuts in. We're going to dice them up. I'm just going to chop these super fine. Now, I'm not going to put too many in, but it's just supposed to add a little bit of texture to the dumplings instead of just all being mushy. You're going to have a tiny little crunch in there as well. I'm just going to put, just to give it a tiny bit of texture, but nothing else. It smells good. That smells unbelievable. Take a dumpling, nice scoop of filling, wet around the edges. I'm going to put 2 pleats in the back, pinch it at the top, make sure there's no air, squeeze it down firm. So one side's going to be straight and the other side will have the pleat and it will naturally curl around. So our dumplings are done, our sauce is done and our garnish is done. The way I'm going to cook them is we're going to put them in the fry pan. They're going to get a nice little golden brown on the bottom. Then we're going to put a lid on, 1/4 cup of water, which is going to steam through. So we're going to end up with a nice crispy layer on the bottom. The rest is going to be steamed, soft and gooey with our sauce and our garnish. These are going to be good. Okie doke, this is perfect. This is what we want, just lightly golden brown on the bottoms. Perfect. We're just going to fill the pan 1/4 of the way up to the dumpling, and then we're going to put a lid on it and steam them for about 3 or 4 minutes. Okie doke, they are done. They look so good, and the smell of them, wow. Look at that. So we're just going to put 3 or 4 of these in a bowl. We're going to spoon over this incredible marinade. I'm just going to give it a little little flick with some coriander, a little bit of spring onion, maybe some of those chestnuts, and just a few drops of lemon. Let's try it. Oh wow, this is gonna be good. Wow, I didn't realize how much dumplings need the vinegar. I've seen it in recipes, but that is what makes this. It's that vinegar, that dumpling vinegar. That's unbelievable. Wow, a little bit of crunch from the chestnuts and the ginger, the coriander shallots, the chili, the crayfish. That is seriously wow. That dried chili, the chili oil. I was not expecting it to be that good. That's unbelievable. Give that one a go. So here we go. Got all my lobster shells. Bam! Into the garden. Right next to my passion fruit. That's going to feed my passion fruits for the next 3 months.
So if you like what you see, give it a like and leave me a comment. Subscribe and hit that notification for all my future content, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.